Have you seen Adam yet this morning?
Huh?
Have you seen Adam yet this morning?
It's for the safety committee meeting.
Okay.
We are live.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll wait for the safety committee to get over. I apologize, we'll be starting just a few minutes late because they have a safety committee going on across the hall. So as soon as that's over and our third commissioner gets here, we'll start.
Angie, I emailed you the contact information for the nominee for the health department, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Did you email me?
Is it required to be a school superintendent? So I don't know what that person felt.
Yeah, health professional, I think is what we are. I'll find it here, but
I did not check.
yeah.
Yeah. I ran that by Sean before we spoke with her. So
What's the two names, Jesse?
The tourism appointment is Andrea Canachi.
Historically, your tourism, you had taken consideration from towns and council, or the other city towns and council, so I don't know if you were still continuing to do that. I have both of them prepared, but that's up to you guys.
Oh no, build in line.
And who's the
Katie Van Tornhout is the well, give me some good names today, right?
I just saw that last time.
VANTORNHOUT. Just how it sounds.
I know. You're not going to be able to
From one meeting to the next.
just do that. And we've seen him too. I know.
I'll play. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started here this morning. So before we open the commissioner meeting, we're going to ask Brandon and Richie to come forward. Lead us in prayers. Anyone wanting to join, please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, our sovereign God, we thank you for this day that you've given us. Father, we thank you for this past weekend of relaxation and celebration, Father. And as we come through that, and you've brought us through that, now we look to refocus, to gain clarity, Father, moving forward. We pray for the decisions to be made that lay ahead for these commissioners, Father. We pray for clarity and wisdom for them, Father God, and we pray that these decisions that are made are done, Father, and done so in a manner where ultimately you are glorified in some means or fashion, as we know that you work all things to your good, Father, for your will and for your purpose. And Father God, it was your hand that ultimately guided all the decisions that are here to be made. Father, we pray we're good stewards of the time spent going over these things, discussing these things, Father, and pray that they are purposeful and that they are meaningful in a manner that is beneficial to those who these men govern, Father God, and those who these men represent. We thank you for them. We thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for the opportunity to come before you and petition you in this manner. And it's in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You all join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you to all of our guests for being here this morning, now that summer is unofficially over. So before we get started, I have one thing. I have Mike Miley and Andy Metzger here. I would like to amend the agenda to have them speak for a minute on, they've been doing some research for us on security. So can I have a motion to allow them to slide in the head of the highway department so Andy has to leave?
So moved. Second.
Motion made second to adjust the amendment to allow Andy and Mike to speak before Jason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Come on up, guys. We both have to please state your name and titles.
Mike Miley, Morris County Insurance Consultant. Andy Metzger, Loss Prevention Consultant with Gibson, Boone County.
So go ahead and tell us what you found out.
A couple of weeks ago, Stan had asked me to come and meet with the representative from Hyperwave on the door locks you're putting on the courthouse and the county building, just to see if there were any issues that came up from a liability standpoint. So Andy met with him a week or so ago, and really everything seemed to be fine. There's ways we thought you could get out from the inside if you were locked in here. Like if I got locked in after a meeting, I think there's a button beside the door you can push to get out. That came under some question today. The other thing was Andy made a suggestion that the system be tied into your fire alarm system. And Andy, do you want to elaborate a little bit on the reasons for that?
So if the fire alarm goes off, if there's water flow, that will then disable the magnetic lock and the doors will be able to be opened from the inside. So no one would have to have any special knowledge to get out, typical with systems like that. And that's what I understand is, Billy mentioned those parts are being ordered so we can connect the door system with the fire alarm. And so when there's water flow, it activates the doors to fail open, which is what you want.
A question was raised today.
Yeah, and I guess it's just actually the question of how to get out. But I thought we were at the time we were pretty certain he's answered every question that doors were proper, people could get out.
But we'll double check, follow up on that. But again, in our conversation with him, is you couldn't be locked in if something, we were here after hours and there was a meeting and you could get out.
I know originally it was kind of, the concern was making sure if we had a runner and somehow they got a officer's firearm or something, they had an avenue to get out. We'd rather have them outside the building and inside the building with the public and staff.
Yeah.
And so if there was a lockdown, they would have an access to get out rather than being engaged inside the building.
Yeah.
So are we still comfortable with all this? Where we're at?
Well, if they are aware in that panic time where the button is beside the doors, they could get out. But if they didn't know, it's not like there's anything on the doorway, a panic bar or anything like that to push to get out. Correct, Andy?
Yep, there's a separate push this button to open the door.
So do we need to address that, do you think, or what's your best practices?
That's a fair question, because I didn't think of it that way at all.
Yeah.
I thought of it in the life safety event and fire, not in the, that'd be a good question for court security.
Well, and that's,
It'd probably take a whole,
that's where this discussion is stemmed from.
oh, it would probably take a whole different door mechanism, I would guess.
If that's what you wanted to do, it's not doing that, yeah. That, if that guy has a gun and got away, he'd have to do something special to get out, yes.
But we should,
If they're activated that way, but they're not activated during business hours, correct?
that's my understanding, unless somebody hits a button to lock it down. I think there is access where security can, there is a button there they can hit
To lock it down?
and lock it down, I believe.
Then it will require additional review.
I just think
Rather
before
than sit here and speculate, yeah.
we get too far in this, we make sure that we cover all our bases the best possible.
Yeah.
Yes,
So if you guys could look at that and kind of, Andy, give us a recommendation,
sure will.
what we can do.
That's just for the courthouse, right?
Well, it could be any building, but yeah, that's just for the courthouse right now. Because we don't have, I don't think we have the access here just to lock everything down with one button
Which I don't think.
in this building.
But I guess the question, he could get, a person could get out if they knew where that bar button was. When it's right there beside, look on the building down here, it's a white box beside the door.
Would that make sense just to maybe add some signage to those doors? With
Could be.
with an arrow on it,
If somebody's running from the law, you're not rational anyway. I wouldn't think.
I think that additional question, so, yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe have a discussion with
We'll talk court security and.
yeah, and make sure, yeah. Because I know the concern was the clerk's office.
Okay, I was not aware of
At
that
that
part.
point in time, the concern was the clerk's office, and she has access to where she can lock the doors from the inside. They didn't want anybody to get in there. But not everything's bulletproof around here, so.
Yeah, sure.
And again, this is worst case scenario, and it never has really happened quite to that extent, but all we're doing is make sure we cover our bases and keep everybody as safe as possible.
So this building, we're pretty comfortable. It's in good shape, but that's a whole different, situation from what you told us. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll get a hold of BJ and meet with him over there at courts and security officers.
Yeah.
What's your issues? What are you concerned with? And,
We're covering them while we're doing this.
Yeah.
Their issues.
okay.
Okay.
Good enough. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Now we have, anyone have any public input on agenda items from the public? Anyone have any comments? Seeing none, we'll move on. Jason, Highway Department? Morning.
Good morning.
I keep forgetting you. Please state your name and title for the record, please.
Jason Peters, Marsh County Highway. I got a couple of permits this morning.
Thank you.
First one we have is for NIPSCO. We have one for NIPSCO. It's 18109 Queen Road, evidently 18th to 19th, 2-inch main extension for a new resident. It's in Union Township. It's a bore. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made second to approve the NIPSCO request. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And the second one is BSM Group, Plymouth Goshen Trail, Lilac to Creekside Boulevard, Center Township, cable installation. It's a bore. Do I have a request? Excuse me. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved. Second.
Motion made second to approve the BSM Group. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Bridge One Road Trailer. Just an update on that. Sean is looking into reviewing information due to delays. NIPSCO is scheduled to start there today.
Excellent.
So I don't know if Sean wants to talk on that now, or if you have an internal report, or you wanna wait until the next meeting, but
Jason sent some information on, about, being able to push back some of any costs that we have that are additional due to the delay, back to NIPSCO, and so, I'll be looking into that. That's something back when I worked with the city of Plymouth that we'd encountered before, and, NIPSCO was, willing to work with the city on that. So I have good hopes that we'll be able to recoup those costs by working with NIPSCO.
Good to know, thank you.
Thank you.
Bridge 232, I have a change order number 2. There's no cost affiliated with it. It's just going from a Class C to a Class C E5 cement.
So what exactly does that mean?
So before this project was actually started, this is something that they had came up with a new mix design in concretes, but when they actually put the specs together, it was for the C5s. Now the NDOT has allowed them to change that over to the C5 or CE5 concrete mix, which is more pliable and less forgiving. And they've had a lot of good success with it, so they've literally switched and went to this. But all these contracts that were put in, that mixed design wasn't in yet, so now they have to go back and put those in for change orders. Like I say, there's no cost affiliated, it just has to show documents that they went from one mix to the other. And that's the same mix that's been used on King Road, Hickory Road, Ubis Road, and 12th Road. And we've done the exact same on these.
I see there's, looks like all 3 signatures on it, so. A motion for the,
I move to approve the change order as presented.
And second?
motion been made to approve it, and second, approve the change order. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Also, Success Bridge is open for the Blueberry. And they will plan to shut that down after this week to finish tidying everything up. I thought everything turned out pretty good, and I don't know if you guys heard anything, but I didn't get any pushback from anybody, so I think it went fairly well.
This is one of those things when we don't hear anything, it's good, and I didn't hear anything, so yeah.
And the mayor, he was good about helping trying to get some of that stuff organized in their committee as well. Likewise, I think USI did a good job on getting everything done, prepped and ready to go, and also E&B to literally just shut what they were doing down in order to get the bridge approaches done. So, huge thanks to all those. Bridge 108, the Waters of the U.S. report has been completed, and the asbestos investigation was completed. Bridge inspections, phase 2A, those will start in October. Then with the MUTCD standards, they have changed, so the county will need to check all the postings to be sure they are up to date before inspections. Mill Pond, dam improvements, the last update I got was they were looking at potentially mid to late October to be able to sleeve that. The MOU with the Academy Drive, all that work has been completed. We'll try to get with CMA just to get all that said and done, and that way that's over with.
Jason, before you go any further,
For minutes, for the purpose of the minutes, can you explain what MUTCD is, please?
Uniform traffic control devices. There you go. It's like a blur. So road program, last week we worked on additional paving projects, hauling millings and loaded shoulder stone, used for the project to patch and cut brush, check bike route for the Blueberry Festival. We'll be starting cold mix paving tomorrow. We're gonna start on 7th Road between 4 and 331.
Okay.
Estimated about 7 miles of paving based on current bituminous funds available. We'll look to do some transferring of stone 2 bituminous to finish out the year and add a few additional miles. It was mentioned at our last highway committee meeting, the possibility of additional funding to work on some of the subdivision roads that are in need of repairs. Due to the late season, we'd be looking at more so the hot mix side of it.
Olive Trail, we replaced a tile on replaced a tile on Olive Trail north of the culvert between Orange Lake and Myers Lake. We had to dig up the southbound lane due to tile ran under the middle of it. We resurfaced that with hot mix asphalt, milled off the culvert approaches and smoothed them out and chip and sealed the area resurfaced due to milling on the approaches. Community crossings, Third Road, 16th and 9th is completed. Nutmeg Meadows has been resurfaced. We'll be adding dirt to a few areas for shoulders and rolling. Then the additional paving, Coral Ridge has been completed, King Road. They're finishing it today, so that northbound lane would be completed. And I'm assuming once they're done there, they'll go over to 9th and Suter, then that should be completed at the end of this week. They may start Kenilworth into this week, first and next.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Jason, before you leave, I'm looking here at the road cut you give us, both of them are from BSM. I don't see the one from NIPSCO, and I think this one we've already signed. Give me the wrong one. Tori, can you scroll back up?
I don't have copies of these.
So the first one, 18
I got
to
that
20,
one, I don't have the other one.
there are not two of them there.
Two of them here.
Yeah.
This one has July 30th on it.
We were missing one last time that we had sent out to you.
We approved it, I just don't have anything here to sign. No.
So you're missing the NIPSCO.
No, the BSM group. Wait a minute, let me look here.
Plymouth Ocean Trail, I like the Creekside.
Yes, I've got the NIPSCO one, 18109. The one I have, the other one is something we've already signed.
So we've got
It is for Plymouth Ocean Trail, Lilac to Creekside. Is that what we just, oh, it is. I'm sorry, I looked at it wrong. We've already signed, that's what threw me. Did we do this in the last
I'm
meeting?
trying to think if we had to. We may have had one that needed to be signed, and that might have been it.
Yeah,
But that was,
approved at the last meeting.
okay,
Yeah,
It's
okay,
in the minutes.
wanna make sure.
thanks, Tori.
I do have a question for you real quick before you go. In talking with the council on the budget process going on right now, they've got like $4 million they've got to cut. And so one of the things I believe they're considering is some of the increases that we were looking for to next year's budget. They may be more likely to consider those favorably as additional appropriations for materials before the end of the year, to make sure that, before January 1st, we are stocked up and ready with all of our materials for next year. So I would encourage you to take those additional appropriation requests to the council so that they feel comfortable removing that from the 26 budget and just giving it to us this year out of the surpluses. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that in the highway meeting. That one, that was a suggestion that was brought up by some council members, so. And I don't know what the time frame is, Jason, to get that stuff ordered, get it in here and get it paid, so. But I'm sure we're running out of time if we don't make a decision.
Big thing is if it's just ordered by the end of the year, then you get this year pricing.
Okay. Does that money carry over?
Ours does.
Okay.
No, highway does.
The appropriation, no, the appropriation.
Oh, the appropriation, no, it goes back into our fund, sorry.
Have to be
So we'd have to be done by December 31st then.
Yeah.
Correct?
Paid by.
Yes.
paid by December 31st.
Okay.
So I say we need to be aware of that, and if we're gonna go that direction, so, this time will run out on us. And we have to have the stone here basically before we pay for it, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Anything else? You got anything? Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Things looking good out there. Thank you.
Thanks.
Next we have a public safety grant request from, Matthew Haskins and Emily Haskins, North Township.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning. Please both of you state your name and titles for the record.
Emily Haskins, North Township Trustee.
Matthew Haskins, Fire Chief at La Paz North Township Fire Department.
So, go ahead.
So the fire department was looking at options for this grant application process. We settled on air packs for SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus. All of our current air packs that we had on our trucks were anywhere from 16 to 20 years old, end of life, having trouble with some of them, passing flow test, having trouble with some of the personal alert safety systems, the pass device. If you fall down, don't move. If you get injured, get trapped. There's some of those things that we're having issues. As well as the composite air bottles that those air packs take have a 15-year lifespan. And so we were looking at how many of those would we replace. We have 20 air packs, and they'll have a bottle with them plus a spare bottle to go with them. And so looking at funding options, we felt it was a better option to go ahead and replace aging air packs as opposed to spending a bunch of money on new air bottles for aging air packs. So that's what we chose. We tested 3 different brands. We ultimately chose the cheapest brand for a total of $127,500. It replaces everything that we have on our trucks currently to brand new. Those air packs, the new air packs, they have more adjustability, they're more comfortable, they're less fatiguing for firefighters that are working on in operations. We went with 45-minute air bottles versus the old 30-minute air bottles. So we've made several upgrades. They take less batteries, so there's less maintenance to the air packs because ultimately every time we go to a fire, knock on wood, we don't have a lot of fires, but every time we go to one, somebody's batteries are dying because it's just been that long since they've been used very much.
Right.
So I'd like to formally make a request for the public safety grant to assist us with that project.
Can you, Angie, correct me if I'm, anything wrong here, but can you break that down to basically a $50,000 purchase? Is that what you need?
You've already made the purchase.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
just reimbursing them
Yeah, okay.
for it up to the 50,000.
Okay.
Yeah, this one doesn't have the same requirements on that the ARPA funds did, so yeah, we can just give them a direct reimbursement, so, yeah.
I didn't realize you already made the purchase. Okay. Any more discussion? Anything else you guys want to add?
I just appreciate the opportunity and appreciate the assistance and funding.
Yeah, I will say this 100% lines up with what we were attempting to do. Obviously, the request was made from us a little over a year ago to look at creating a public safety tax, and our option was to try to find a way to help you guys out without raising taxes. And so we appreciate the opportunity to play a part in what your firefighters are doing there in North Township. So I'll make the motion to approve.
Second. Motion been made and seconded to approve the request from the North Township Fire Department and Township Trustee to reimburse an amount of $50,000 for our agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Planning commissions, Nicholas here. I don't see him yet. What's the time we on the agenda for? He's at 9 o'clock. Okay, Mike, can you see if Nicholas is upstairs?
Sorry?
Can you see if Nicholas is upstairs? Planning director?
You want me to go up and see?
Yeah, could you please? Tell him we're ready for him. Thank you. We'll move on. You see him, Sandy.
I think that might be why he's confused. You just kind of wasn't your person who's got.
That's okay. That's okay.
I can do it by
Yes, I did, yeah.
I'll ask on behalf of both of us.
So good morning, gents. I hope you had a nice holiday. I'm Sandy Garrison. I'm director of the Marshall County Museum. And I'm here this morning to request approval for our annual staff in service. The purpose of the in-service is to get out into the county and to have staff see in person the sites that we share with visitors and researchers all day long. This really greatly enhances the level of service that we can give to our communities. And the time is also designed to provide some team building opportunities as we get out and explore and learn together. So I have some slides to show you, past in-service days. Our first one was in 2023. We went to Bremen and we toured the Depot Museum, which has great railroad history, historic Bremen. And we also got to see the renovations on the Bowen House, which at the time were just starting. It's absolutely amazing. I hope we get invited back sometime to see the completion. Then in 2024, we were in Bourbon. We visited the Lemler's Private Museum. The top picture and the one on the right are from that. I was very jealous of the amount of Bourbon signage and different things that they have. So it was lovely to see it. And that is a private museum, as I said, but it's available by appointment if you're interested. As well worth seeing. And we had a guided walking tour led by our very own Karen Redinger of Bourbon to show us a number of the historic sites downtown. And again, like we see those things in pictures all the time, but just seeing them in sight in context just really adds a level of depth to the service that we can share. So this year, our plan is to head to Culver. John Houghton, whom some of you may know, he's president of the Culver Antiquarian and Historical Society, will be our tour guide for the day. He suggested borrowing the Council on Aging one of their buses, as he did that recently with the in-service he led for the public library staff, and said it worked really well. So our route will take us through Wolf Creek. We will visit the village of Maxinkuckee, the former Bigley Orchard, go past the Vonnegut Cottages and the House of 7,000 Candles, and we'll see many Potawatomi sites. Reverend Houghton also has a guidebook to share with the staff, and that will help solidify the learning, the many things that they will be seeing. Next, we'll tour the Culver Academy's campus and museum, along with their archivist, Jeff Kenny. Again, many of you may know. Jeff is an amazing local historian and writes a regular column for Lakes Magazine. On our way back to the museum, we'll stop by the Baroque Cemetery, the County National Forest, and Twin Lakes. Just like last year, our previous director, Linda Rippey, will be on site at the museum. She'll keep things running smoothly for us during the time that we're away. She'll be joined by several Historical Society board members and some of our regular volunteers. And the costs for the day are covered by the Historical Society.
Okay.
Thank you for your attention to our request, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Mike, I apologize. I forgot about you being next.
That's okay.
Anything else you want to add?
No job's too small.
Anything else you want to add? That's Mike.
We've been doing this now for several years, and I think it's a real benefit to our staff to be able to relate to all of Marshall County as we're supposed to be. We're a county museum, and I think they all appreciate the insights they receive from the local historians in those areas that have historical societies or historical groups. And it just makes us, I think, a lot more valuable as tour guides and an information depot for anybody that does come in. So we appreciate you cooperating in the past, and hopefully you'll see the value in this and allow us to do it again.
Okay. Any questions? Any more discussion? Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second to support the museum's annual staff in-service request. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Attorney report, Sean.
Nope. Next year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Nicholas. Morning, we'll jump back on schedule.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had 9:30 on my calendar. I'm not sure why, but I apologize to you guys and the crowd behind me here for
Everything's good.
causing delay.
Please state your name and title. Nick.
Nicholas Whitmore, Planning Director, Marshall County.
So we had last meeting, we addressed, took up ordinance 2025-19, passed it on first reading. We held off because technically anybody had comments. So anything you want to add or anything before we move forward?
No, not too much. Just wanted to kind of reinforce this was a property that had been for sale for a little while. Zone T1, ordinance is to change the zoning to A3, which allows for small hobby type farming. Petitioner wants to have, 4-H animals, some chickens, just kind of personal use farm, just a little hobby farm, basically.
I think in this case, the gentleman is more looking for 4-H
Yeah.
for his kids.
Yep.
Be able to have 4-H animals for his kids.
How can you say no to 4-H kids, right?
It's tough. So any more questions for Nicholas? So.
And obviously,
Pretty straightforward.
I mean, this was a BZA review or a planning commission review?
This was a plan commission
Okay.
review. It's zone T1 currently, because of Linksville.
Mhm.
The whole kind of area intersection there is zone T1, surrounded by A1 agriculture. So the T1 allows for some of the small businesses that are in Linksville or were in Linksville. This is right on the edge. It's adjacent to A1 property and T1 property. A1, he doesn't want to do any large scale farming, anything like that, but I think it's almost 10 acres. It's like 9 acres, 9 point something. So no, we thought it was an appropriate zoning, A3, to kind of transition between the A1 and the T1.
Okay, so the recommendation from the planning commission is to approve?
Yes.
Okay.
And TRC as well.
TRC,
And
okay.
staff's recommendation was positive to planning commission.
Do we need to have, we're gonna have another public hearing today, or?
No. So we can just amend the rules and go ahead and pass it both on second and third reading, if that's what you so choose.
Yep, I move that we suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2025-19 on second and third reading.
I second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2025-19 on second and third reading. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right,
Thank you,
very
Nicholas.
good. Thank you.
Mhm.
And again, sorry for the delay.
You're fine, we're all good. Now we're on to Sean, return report.
Okay, just a couple of things. First, we've got ordinance number 2025-22. It's an ordinance repealing local sewer standards, and this is something that was brought to our attention at the joint meeting that the commissioners held with the council recently, and there was some discussion about this was one of the standards that would be repealed is an ordinance that was 2024-24 that was passed back in December of last year. And there was some question that was brought up at that joint meeting about some of the standards in there and their effectiveness. Apparently there was some change in legislation downstate that previously had allowed some standards of local counties to be more stringent than state standards if they were adopted and approved by the Indiana Department of Health's Technical Review Committee within a certain window of time. And apparently there was some confusion locally about that, and it doesn't, from the discussion of the representative of the State Board of Health that was at that joint meeting, and from the research that the council's attorney, Marcel Levin, had done, our ordinance hadn't been considered and approved by the State Board of Health's Technical Review Committee, so there were portions of it that are not effective regardless of if you repeal this. But what this would do would repeal that ordinance from December of last year, and then repeal portions of its Title V, Chapter 53 of the Marshall County Code that addresses sewer standards. And all this will do is default all of our standards to the state standards that are already in place. So it's not as though it's doing away with all regulation of sewer and septic within the county. It's just simplifying things and making it just following the state standards.
Any comments?
I will say I went back and reviewed those December meetings at which this ordinance that we're repealing was considered. And it was presented at those meetings that the ordinance they passed was simply to bring Marshall County in line with state standards. And so I'm concerned that that was the representation and that was not the content of the material that was adopted. I certainly am going to support the repeal today. Who's the attorney for the health department right now?
I am.
Okay, could you make sure that the staff there is aware of the changes to the ordinance and that they know what they're supposed to be doing?
Sure.
Because that concerned me.
Any comments?
That's pretty straightforward. Basically, we're basically saying we're not going to go above and beyond what the state
Standards are.
Right, which is what we've represented to the public.
Yeah. If there's no more discussion, any questions for Sean? Sean, we go ahead and address this now. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve County Ordinance 2025-2022, or 22, sorry.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve County Ordinance 2025-22, repealing the local sewer standards and mirroring the state guidelines. All in favor?
First reading.
First reading, yes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries on first reading. Do you want to deal with the rest of it today, or do you want to postpone it till next meeting?
I'm pretty sure this needs to be taken care of right away. So I move that we suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2025-22 on second and thirds.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2025-22 on second and third reading. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Sean?
Okay. The next thing, I put together a draft of a trailer purchase agreement. This is having to do with that stash uncovered trailer that was discussed a few months ago. And Annette Hanning's here if you have any questions for her. I know Stan had done some research just to make sure who owned it and if we were fine with going ahead and selling it. What this does is would sell the trailer for $1 to St. Joseph Health Systems. And it has some provisions in here just to recognize the county's investment in it, that if St. Joe were to want to sell the trailer within the first 5 years of having it, you have a right of first refusal to buy it back for $1. And then if you don't want it and they go ahead and sell it, they would share 75% of the sales proceeds with you. And then the second 5-year period after that, so like years 6 to 10, same thing, you could buy it back for $1 if they wanted to get rid of it, or if you don't want it, they would split the sale proceeds 50-50 with you. And then after 10 years, it's just kind of, they've taken care of it for long enough, and it's the idea that they can do whatever they want with it.
So if they put any maintenance into it, would that be deducted from whatever we would get back? Because I do know that it probably is going to need some maintenance.
Yeah, it's not addressed in here, but I mean that certainly makes it seem equitable to account for.
You went farther than I expected, Sean, because I thought we were just going to do a simplified agreement that if there's ever any proceeds from the trailer sale, or if it's crash insurance, whatever, that money would come back to the county. Basically, they would be allowed to use it for $1, as long as they take care of the maintenance and insurance. So
we can certainly make that amendment if you'd like to see it.
What do you guys think?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
You okay with this?
I'm okay with this.
So you suggesting we amend it, or we suggesting we pass as presented? Because I do not want to put them in a position where they go ahead and spend some money to fix the thing and then make the decision to sell it later, and then they...
Let's make the amendment.
Yeah, then they lose their investment in the... Yeah.
So you want to pass it as Sean? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So do I have a motion?
So moved.
You're clear on what we want to do, right?
So add some language that would reflect that any split in the sale proceeds would also, they would get a credit for maintenance and
100% of anything they invest in it, they would get that money back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll second that.
Sorry for the
And
confusion.
that is only with the president's signature.
Okay. Motion been made second to approve the agreement for $1 with the St. Joe St. Joe Medical Center. Do I have that right? St. Joe Medical Center, yes. And the county, with the amendments been suggested. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then I'll get those amendments made and get it circulated.
I take it back. We do need to add to the motion one signature.
Okay. So I move that we adopt the ordinance between the county and St. Joe Regional Medical Center as amended, with the president signing on behalf of the board.
Second.
Motion made second to adopt the ordinance for the president signing on behalf of the board. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Anything else, Sean?
No, that's all that I have. Thank you.
Either one of you have anything for Sean?
I don't think so.
Okay, we'll move on to the auditor report.
Okay, I have the August 18th minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from the August 18th, 2025 meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion made second to approve the August 18 minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have the August 20th executive minutes, executive session.
I move to approve the August 20th, 2025 executive session minutes.
Second.
Motion made second to approve the executive session minutes, August 20th, 2025. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I have the August 20th special meeting minutes.
I move to approve the minutes from the August 20th, 2025 special meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the special meeting minutes of August 20, 2025. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I have the accounts payable claims.
I move to approve the account payable claims.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the account payable claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the last thing I have is the payroll claims.
And I move that we approve the payroll claims.
Second.
Motion made second to approve the payroll claims. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Everybody does want paid, I think. So, public comments. Anyone here have any public comments on any item, anything on your mind? Bill, come on forward, please. And remember, it's 3 minutes.
This isn't gonna take long at all.
Okay, state your name.
Bill
Please.
Woodward, 12094 Peach Road. I just want to say thank you for everything you do. I don't think the public understands how much you guys have to take care of, how much you do, Sean included. So I just wanted to say thank you for everything you do. Really appreciate it. And I've decided that because of this sewer issue, we're going to start attending your meetings regularly so we can keep a track of what's going on, so we don't have to try and catch up 2 years, on something that we should have known before. So I just wanted to say thank you. That's it.
Thank you. When we do encourage the public to attend, okay? Well, everybody know they're always welcome. And their comments are welcome.
And we will.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything to say? If not, okay, we'll move forward. We have commissioner items. First item we have is for appointment to the Marshall County Tourism appointment. Jesse, I think you had that one.
Yep, I've got a very qualified candidate out of Culver. She currently works with the Culver Town of Culver Tourism Office. She's got experience with Walt Disney in her previous resume, and she is just a rock star as far as going out and getting stuff done as far as tourism things in Marshall County. So I'd like to nominate Andrea Canacci to be our next appointment to the Marshall County Tourism Board.
And I second that.
So if she meets the requirements for, I don't know, what kind of requirements are there on this?
I believe the only requirement is that
Being a tourism related
the majority of the board needs to be in a tourism related field, and she qualifies to keep that going. So yeah.
You second that?
I do second that.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded to approve Andrea Canacci as the Marshall County, our appointment to Marshall County Tourism Board. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And Madam Auditor, does she need to reach out to you, or how does that work as far as getting all that paperwork finished?
Yes, I will. Once I have this signed, I usually reach out to that person so they can make a time to come in, because that is a position that does have an oath administered. So they will have to make time to come in between 8 and 4,
Perfect.
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Okay, next is Marshall County, appointment to Marshall County Board of Health. I believe you got this one.
I'm gonna let you do this one.
All you. Okay. So it was at the last meeting of the County Health Board, Superintendent Jim White gave his resignation as he's no longer superintendent in Bremen, and we want to thank him for his service for the last several years on the Board of Health. I did a quick check on the qualifications required to replace Dr. White, and the first of those is that we need to keep political balance on the board, and so in order to do that, I have a list of folks who are identified by the clerk's office as Democrats, so that I can go through and say, oh yeah, I know that person, they'd be a good fit. And one name came up, and I bounced her qualifications off of Mr. Cerisi. And what was the niche that she qualifies for?
Yeah, so one of the types of folks that could be on here is a public health professional. That says including an epidemiologist. So an epidemiologist is somebody who would be a doctor that studies infectious diseases or treats them. But a public health professional is a term that's not defined, so it's a little more loose than requiring the person be a doctor. You are required of the 5 appointments. You actually have 6 appointments. One is appointing a person that the mayor of Plymouth recommends, but the other 5, one of them is required to be a doctor, and the other 4 can be among these various menu of choices. But public health professional would fit this person who, you can share her background here.
So Katie Van Tornhout is a resident in North Township. She has been active in encouraging the immunization of public health professionals to prevent the transmission of diseases, especially to children who are in hospitals. And so she's been very active on that. And she's also a great advocate for the people, and I think that she'll be a great fit on the health department. So I nominate Katie Van Tornhout.
And I second that. And you might recall that earlier this year, you approved the contract with the health department where they hired Ms. Van Tornhout to come be a speaker at one of their sessions for, I think, school nurses or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to approve Katie Van Tornhout as our appointment to Marshall County Board of Health. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the next item we have is establishing a guardian ad litem. This has to do with the CASA program. So, Sean, you want to give us an update on that?
Yeah, sure. So the CASA program is the Court Appointed Special Advocates Program. These are folks that basically get assigned to children that are involved in, their families are involved in court proceedings having to do with, neglect, abuse, things like that. And these volunteers are kind of like the eyes and ears and spokesperson for these children that are involved in court programming. They can report back to the judge that, what's going on in their lives and how are they relating. It's a statutory requirement that the court provide for either CASA volunteers or alternatively a guardian ad litem, which is a attorney that's assigned to do the same work, to be the advocate for the child. The good thing about the CASA program is the folks that are recruited are volunteers versus if the court has to appoint a guardian ad litem, then they're having to pay that attorney at a agreed upon reduced rate, but still it's more of an expense. And as I understand it, of the 92 counties, that it's kind of a mix of how they run their CASA programs, even though it is a requirement under statute to have one. In some counties they are run as a volunteer, not-for-profit organization that just interfaces with the county and the courts. Some counties have them as actually county led by a county employee. Some have them where that county employee is housed within the underneath the judge. Others where they're their own department. And what this would propose is to get your blessing to start the process to form CASA as its own department. It has been, as I understand, for many years run as a non-for-profit here in the county. It's not had in recent years a active board in terms of like being out in the community, fundraising and things as most not-for-profits do. It's run on grant funding, a small amount of grant funding each year that comes from the state, as I understand, which we still receive. But I guess there had been kind of a surplus of those grant funds for many years that has now kind of been spent down over the last number of years. So we're having to look at funding, more funding needs for that. But there's just one employee that would be the head of CASA that is currently already in place and would become a county employee. And then what she mainly does is recruit and manage the volunteers. And that's happy to take any other questions that you have.
I will say, I've wanted to do this for a couple years because I was concerned about our CASA program. We have a very good program, but I kind of felt we took advantage of the leadership in that program. And so now making her a county employee with the benefits and stuff that goes along is more fair to her, gives her more desire to want to do this. And like I said, they really reach out and take these kids to heart. So I'm not sure how it'll end up because I know there's some details have to be worked out. But my understanding today, we're just approving the intent to move forward and start the process to set this up.
Yeah, then I can work on getting an ordinance to create the department put together, and then there'll be, as far as the funding, some approvals that have to be made with the council.
Okay. I'm glad that we're going to have the opportunity to do this. I think there's been some confusion in previous years that as the council had looked for creative ways to fund this position, I think the misconception from some was that the county didn't fully support the program. And I think that was a misconception, and that, just if we look for creative ways to spend money, that doesn't mean that we're not in support of the program that we're funding. And I think this is a good step in the right direction to make sure that our new employee understands that she's fully valued and that we have a long-term commitment to maintain this program.
And you're right, there was confusion, and that was not the case. I mean, there was no intention of doing away with the program. It just, there was some confusion, and because people didn't understand. So,
and I think that just my 2 cents as far as running it as a non-for-profit. I mean, I think that's in concept is a great idea, and the stories of these children are a compelling story to try to motivate, giving and fundraising. But it's challenging having a non-for-profit and managing it and having an active board that can, take the time to engage in that stuff. With just one staff person that they've had, I know her focus is on running the programming and doesn't have a background in fund development and that. So it's just, I don't see that. I think the nonprofit that we've had has done as good a job as they can. And in my mind, the nonprofit model might work maybe better in some larger communities where, maybe there's a broader base of volunteers and there's a broader, resource pool of donors. But I think we all know and see that it seems to be a lot of volunteers that get asked to be on a lot of different nonprofits, and some fatigue and donor fatigue as well. And so when you look at this as a need, but it's also a statutory requirement that one way or the other, the government is required to provide this programming. I fully support the bringing it in-house to the government. I think just makes some good sense.
Yeah, sometimes you'll spend more time trying to raise money than what it's worth.
Well, with one person, she was just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It was just too much to ask. So
I'm just curious, when's the last time we created a new department in the county here?
Oh, I don't know.
Or was this
Park department.
Parks Department? Yeah. Okay.
So with that, do I have a motion to move forward with the process? So moved.
And second?
Motion made second to move forward, to have our attorney move forward with the process of creating a CASA department, making her a county employee. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And the next step in this process will also involve the council voting to create a fund for this, right? So.
Not create a fund. We've already reached out to both the ICJI, the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, and to State Board. There is no revenue stream, so they will have to be within the general fund.
Okay.
Created a department in there, and then the current fund, 1213, the Gal Casa fund, will continue on as it has,
Okay.
So that we're not commingling any of the funds.
Okay.
So yes, that will be, and donations. There'll be a separate fund for donations. So if anybody does donate, we have to have all of those separate. So there will be three fund. It will be in three different areas, but we will create the fund ordinance. We can create once the council decides where they want to move forward with that, and they should be addressing that at their next meeting.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Either one of you guys have anything?
I have two more things. They're not on here, but you have the hyperwave proposal,
Yeah.
just to bring that up, and then the Graber.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah. I just letting these guys talk. Well, let's go ahead and do these first. Let me do this first. We have we talked about doing remodeling the treasurer's office, the front counter, for security purposes, and plus it was put in when this building was original, and it's showing its age. So while we was doing it, instead of mix and matching over secure, the talk was to go ahead and see what it would take to just take the whole front counter out, the windows, everything, put a new counter in. It will be better set up for the ladies working there, because right now they can't reach their computers to change their ink, and stuff is very difficult. And then the ends of the counters will be all walled in. Where there's a little swinging gate, now there'll be one walk-through door that will be able to be locked. So we'll be able to secure that office totally. Well, I shouldn't say totally, but as best possible. At tax time, obviously, they got a lot of cash in there. And I think it's best we get rid of temptation. So we've had a couple different proposals from KG Graber, and basically it was different scenarios what we would do. The final proposal got lost and went to a junk mail in maintenance instead of coming to us. So we talked about this before. So it's a little bit more expensive to do the whole thing. Their proposal is for $38,680. That will redo everything at that front counter. I will tell you, we did reach out to, in the last couple of weeks, to some more contractors, try to secure bids. One was not interested. The second one had to have so much money up front, it did not meet state requirements. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So in order for him to bid, we did not have any other bids. We are going to be contacting some more people in the county that do this kind of work and see if we can get some more interest.
Yep.
So KG Graber is the one that did the maintenance building over there when we bought it. They do good work. So I guess my question today is, if we so choose, what do you want to do? Do you want to move forward with this and go to the council? Because we have a request for $32,000 on the agenda for the council next meeting. We would have to go back and do an additional or something, to cover the rest, or a change, basically treat as a change order, whichever.
You said this is $38,000?
$38,680 if we do everything.
Which way is cleaner as far as process?
Well, right now that's going to be kind of up to the council. I guess we go back and do a change order. We potentially can take the money out of maintenance, and if he runs short, do an additional there at the end of the year. That would save us for basketball more money right now.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of things committed. He's got $5,000 committed to helping the desk over at security at the courthouse. And there's something else, Angie. What else we talked about? There's another commitment for a couple $1,000.
But we just talked about it this morning. I can't remember what that is.
Yeah. There's a couple of $1,000. So,
why don't we just go ahead and approve this today, and let me see if we can pay for that desk at the courthouse out of the special lit.
Yeah. Well, the desk is ordered. I mean, it's on its way. I just don't know when it's gonna get here. So, right now, he's gonna be winding, depending on what we do, he's gonna be setting on about $75,000 to get him through the rest of the year on a $250,000 budget. But we've done a lot of extra things this year, try to get things done that need to be done, been pushed off for years. And also, he's had an issue with, I think it was 18 grand. We just had some heat pumps brought at the up in the ceilings and stuff. I know one was in Circuit. I think they had some down in, I think it was Superior too, in the hallways. So we've had some things go wrong this year that, you know, you just can't always plan for.
Yep.
So he's doing pretty good on his budget, but we can go that way if we just want to keep the additional for $32,000 and pull the rest out of maintenance. That would be an option.
This is for the treasurer's office.
Treasurer's office is there for everything.
And just to reiterate, part of the reason we're doing this, upgrade security, make it safer in there for when, during tax time, whenever they're taking money in. All right, I just want to make sure we got that out there as to why we're doing this.
And while we're doing this, while we're doing the whole thing, it'll just be so it's not a mix and match, hodgepodge.
Yeah, to where it actually looks professional.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with pushing this forward then.
And so, you comfortable with that? Do I have a motion?
Yep.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second to approve the proposal from KG Graber for the treasurer's office for $38,680. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. That will be subject to the council. They voice their support, but it'll be formally looked at next Monday. And the second item I have is Pipewave Communications. We've had a lot of trouble in this room. Some of this was replaced a couple years ago, but we didn't replace everything, and that's probably on some of us because we try to save money. And it seems like Libby has been in here, worked her tail off trying to get this thing going, and sometimes we can't hear in the back, so she gets it going in the back, and then they can't hear at home.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa, and just she's all the time fighting. It's been a battle. So after the last joint work session, the first joint work session, I called BJ down there and talked to Libby, and she talked to BJ, and I said, come up and tell us what it's going to take. So it's been determined that we need to change a bunch of the equipment in this room. That would be basically the mics, the speakers, and some other issues. And it's going to be in the range of, let's just say $19,000, be on the safe side. I won't have the quote here in front of me. So what did I do with the quote, Angie?
The total amount is $18,386.52.
Put my quote somewhere. Yeah. How much you say it was again? 18,000 what?
18,386.52.
52. Okay. So I guess the question to you guys is, would you like to move forward with this and try to straighten this out? Because it's not fair to the public when they can't hear our meetings at home, and we want them to hear them.
We do sort of have a statutory obligation to live stream these meetings, and that should mean that people should be able to hear the audio at home. And yeah, you go from sometimes the audio is too quiet, and then some members are the blaring is so bad that you can't even you can hear the noise, but you can't understand what they're saying. Yeah, so I think we have to do that.
My question is from, if we go ahead and prove this today, what's the timeline as far as getting something ordered and then implementation?
It will be a couple months because it has to go to council, and basically it can't be looked at in council for advertising purposes till I believe October. Correct.
Correct.
So Angie has looked at it and said that it could be supported from Cuban Cap.
All right. So technically, this may not get implemented until next year then.
No, I would imagine this should happen. If you approve it and the council approves it, it could happen this year.
Yeah.
I believe Hyperwave, and they were slated to be on the next meeting. So I'm going to take from the emails, conversations that I've had, a couple of day downtime to get everything changed. So it would have to be done when you don't have a plan commission or a BZA meeting in here. So it would be, if you guys approve it in September, an additional goes before the council in October, I would say by the end of October, something could probably be scheduled.
All right, I'm good with it.
Yeah. So I move
let's move forward.
This is gonna be on the agenda for next meeting, but we're gonna strike it off and take care of it right now, if you guys are okay with that.
I'm good with that.
I move that we approve the proposal by Hyperwave
With
to,
one signature.
to replace the audio equipment in the room and related to live streaming, with the president signing on behalf of the board.
I second that.
Motion made and second to approve the proposal with Hyperwave to redo the audio in this room for the amount of $18,386. I believe you said 52 cents, correct? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we will get that to the council in the October meeting to look at it. So that's all I got. Anybody else have anything else?
Update on the evolving sewer issue. Following our joint meeting and special meeting and the council's special meeting last Wednesday, I traveled to Indianapolis on Thursday last week, and Councilman Harmon and Councilwoman Cox joined me. I met with Governor Braun in the morning and presented him with the letter from the council and commissioners requesting his personal attention on the issue. So I don't know how much personal attention it's going to get, but we made our request, and then the three of us met with IDEM at their headquarters for about an hour and a half, and we presented our case. We got, I feel like it was a warm welcome, and the longer the meeting went, I think they started to understand where we were coming from. There was one gentleman representing the state revolving fund who pushed back on us a little bit and, was playing devil's advocate a little bit. I think that they're, like I said, they understand where we're coming from. If there is any hesitation, it would be strictly because this is unprecedented. And while the statute gives the authority to the IDEM commissioner to make the decision to dissolve the sewer board, it's never been done before. And so I think they're going to consider, both the merits of our request and, excuse me, and the any implications that it might be to set a precedent like this. I know there was some desire in the room to try to foster some communication and to try to create some common ground between us and the sewer board. So we'll see what their response is. I do expect we'll get some sort of response. What the timeline on that is, I don't know. So,
speaking of which, when is that hearing? The hearing for that coming up, Sean?
The litigation?
Yeah,
October the 10th.
October the 10th.
Yeah.
And they haven't made any new motions to push it out farther yet.
No.
Okay. Cool. That's.
So yeah, as was stated in the joint session, this sewer district is a dead man walking. Either IDEM's going to dissolve it here in the next couple of months, or the judge in Elkhart County will give us the authority, or will affirm our authority to replace board members, and we'll be able to replace board members and change the direction of the district in that way. Or over the next 18 months, between the council and the commissioners, we have the ability to appoint, just because of the expiration of terms, a majority of the members of that board. So the only question in my mind at this point is, how much money will this board spend before the project is ended? Because it will end, in my humble opinion.
Okay.
You have anything?
No, I do.
Okay.
All right. So, quick update here as far as Brightspeed things concerned. It's kind of hard to track them guys down to where they actually want to talk to you. So I'm still working on a good contact on that one. Coming from our safety committee meeting this morning, first aid kits were brought up. I went ahead and I asked Billy to go ahead and put some on order. I asked him to get level 2, where it at least has like a tourniquet in there, to update the whole thing in our county buildings. And I asked him to get a first aid kit for each of the offices. That way it's on hand. There's concern with recent events that happened here at the county building within the last week of having updated stuff like that. so I asked Billy to go ahead and do that. If it's okay, I didn't think you guys would mind.
No, I'm all right with that.
Unless one of you want to take that over, I mean. Okay.
Your mic can handle that.
Yeah. Let's see, what else?
Have we looked at a service at all to make sure that they stay?
You talked about how we rented it, they took care of it.
Something Scott brought up. So as a service to go ahead and take care of all that for us with recent events, instead of having a wall-mounted item, there was concern about maybe having portable packs in case you actually have to go to wherever somebody might need the help. And the other thing coming out of our safety committee meeting this morning was follow-on training on maybe first aid, how to use the AED kits, maybe refresher training for CPR. Basic stuff that we probably ought to be doing annually that's kind of escaped. And I've learned this morning that over the last couple of years, maybe not all the departments got the training or were invited to previous trainings, which I'm not 100% for sure. Now, do we have a line item under the commissioners for safety and safety training and stuff like that? Or is that HR? Okay, so it is under HR then? Okay. I was just curious about that because it can save us a lot of problems in the long run, keeping everybody current and providing that for everybody, in my opinion. Now, I'm trying to think, it's pretty much everything on the safety committee meeting. And the last thing I'd kind of like to bring up, I mentioned it at the end of last meeting because I forgot about it. I was wondering if you would be on board with maybe asking Sean to draft up a letter on a official county letterhead that we can take and send off to businesses, pretty much anybody and everybody, asking them to come take a look at Marshall County to do business here. It never hurts to ask, and if nobody fights for us to get new businesses here, besides just economic development, we might as well all pull the train in the same direction and see what we can't pull in here together. Never hurts to ask, and nobody's going to fight harder for us than us.
Yeah.
Especially when every other county around us is trying to pull in new businesses and opportunities to the county.
Yeah.
And I know there's some arguments or some cases to be made. Maybe we don't have enough housing, we don't have enough workforce, this, that, or the other. Which I can see some of that, but also at the same time, we can't really make an argument we don't have enough people to work $30 an hour jobs if a new business wants to come in when we put in Popeyes, Dunkin' Donuts, a brand new Dollar General. We got people to work those jobs. We probably got people to work other jobs.
Yeah.
That's just something for consideration.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I think that's good. It's funny. I think you think about this a little bit more than I do, but it came up to me. I saw a guy on the Tucker Carlson podcast yesterday who wants to build he's got the technology to do a 100-mile-a-gallon diesel engine that goes 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, and he thinks he can build the car for less than $20,000 a year, for less than $20,000. And I'm thinking, man, I'd like to reach out to that guy and have a conversation with him. So yeah, it might be nice to have a resource in the toolbox for that. So yeah.
And the other thing is, you never know what whose attention you might grab. There might be a company out there that's looking for a place like Marshall County, but because nobody's ever reached out to them or they never had any contact with that, we might plant the idea in their head about moving here.
Can't hurt.
It's worth the shot, right?
Worth the shot. Can't hurt. Nope.
All right.
That would be fine. I'll let you and Sean look into that.
All right.
What you come up with. You got anything else?
No, that's it for
I
me.
did forget one thing. We talked about this, and I talked to Representative Jordan yesterday. He's going to contact Thompson, head of the House State Legislature, and we're going to
Jeff Thompson, the chairman of the House Ways and Means.
Yes, we're going to invite him to come to Marshall County. He's been going around different parts of the state. I think we all have questions what the budget looks like in a couple of years. what the state's intentions are. And I think we have questions about the wheel tax.
Yeah.
And what stuff is going to change this year, what they call cleanup legislation. So
Yeah.
so we don't get blindsided. So
it was nice to hear from Representative Jordan that he said, there aren't really a lot of real conservative local governments around the state of Indiana, and you guys in Marshall County are leading the way. Between what the council and the commissioners and the auditor's office and so many other of our departments are really working hard to save taxpayers money. They want to get that perspective plugged in with the folks that are creating legislation down there. So that was nice to hear.
So I'm hoping we can come up here whenever he can come. We'll probably have to adjust our schedules to meet his. I know he's a busy man. And so we'll just have a work session, I guess we'll call it, with maybe, public can listen, but they can't comment or speak, because I don't want people coming here and attacking him, and we know what's been going on around the state. So try to protect his I don't want to
It would be a more productive work session.
Exactly. So with that, I have nothing else. A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. You gotta be quicker. Motion made, second, adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.